The film starts with a girl asking for a ride because her car has broken down. A truck driver offers to help, but she ignores him, suspecting he might have bad intentions. Then, a handsome man appears. She quickly gets into his car and drives off. Unfortunately, this turns out to be a bad choice because she finds a severed hand under his seat, revealing that the seemingly innocent man is actually a serial killer. He stops the car and kills the woman. A few days later, a bus full of passengers is traveling on the same road. One of the passengers is Wang, an insurance agent. The driver, Tony, mentions that a woman went missing in that area a few days ago. Suddenly, a radio announcement informs them that an accident has closed all roads. Lee, another passenger, insists he needs to get to work on time. Driver Tony says he knows an alternate route, and after checking with the other drivers, they all agree to take it, unknowingly beginning a dangerous journey. They soon enter a dark tunnel that Tony claims he has never seen before. Despite this, he keeps driving until a man suddenly appears in front of the bus, forcing them to stop. The passengers are frightened, wondering what he is doing there. The man explains that he is a passenger and gets on the bus. Lee, who is reading a newspaper, realizes that this man is a criminal and quietly takes out a knife. Among the passengers, there are two women, Sarah, a model, and Jang, who is pregnant. There are also two siblings among the passengers. One is named Park and the other is Fang. Tony notices that the bus has been driving for 20 minutes, yet they haven't exited the tunnel. He starts to suspect something is wrong because he knows the longest tunnel in the country is only 11 kilometers long, which takes about 10 minutes to cross. Since they haven't emerged from the tunnel yet, Tony and the passengers decide to turn back. Surprisingly, even after driving at full speed for 30 minutes, they still can't find the way out. It seems they're stuck in a never-ending dark tunnel with no other living beings in sight. Frightened, Tony stops the bus and everyone gets out to investigate. Strangely, the pregnant woman, Jang, finds her mobile phone which she dropped an hour ago at the beginning of the tunnel. This discovery confirms that the tunnel is not normal. As panic sets in among the passengers, Lee tells everyone to stay calm. He decides to walk through the tunnel to find help and suggests taking a long rope to avoid getting lost. Fortunately, they find a rope nearby. The mysterious passenger who stopped the bus earlier volunteers to go with Lee. As they walk, Lee nervously asks for the passenger's name, and he replies that his name is Chen, but avoids talking about his work or family. After a while, a thick fog begins to rise, and two figures approach the bus. Initially, everyone is scared, but they soon realize the figures are Lee and Chen, returning from where they started. They discover that the tunnel, although straight, keeps leading them back to the same spot. They are now all trapped in the tunnel. After realizing they are trapped, Lee suggests that everyone gather their food so it can be distributed evenly. He makes sure everyone gets an equal share. The men then leave to explore the tunnel while 3 women and 1 man rest on the bus. When Zhang wakes up, she notices the bus is covered in dust. Surprised, she wakes everyone up and they quickly exit the bus. The men return and Tony immediately checks their food supplies, only to find that everything has aged significantly. This strange occurrence suggests that time in the tunnel moves differently, with 1 hour in the outside world equaling a week inside. When they get back on the bus, they find a new map, as if someone placed it there deliberately. Lee suspects that someone is playing a game with them. He spreads the map on a table and begins examining it. Suddenly, the lights go out. When they turn on a flashlight, they notice that Lee is missing and see a trail of blood. Following the blood, they discover that Lee has been killed. Chen takes charge and leads the group as they follow the blood trail to a weak wall. Breaking through, they enter a strange room filled with numerous pictures and severed human hands. They find another map indicating that there are 6 different tunnels interconnected. Chen explains that to escape, they need to cross all 6 tunnels. He suggests there must be another door in the secret room leading to the next tunnel. Everyone starts searching for this hidden door. They find a strange calendar where every date is July 15th. Chen thinks this might be a clue. When he tears the calendar off the wall, it reveals a wooden secret door. After everyone enters the door, a TV in the room shows a woman trapped in a cave. They then proceed to the next tunnel and are shocked to see their bus in the same place. They initially think they are in the same tunnel, but after checking, they realize it is the same tunnel, but in a different time zone and lined with wires. In search of food, they all go inside the bus and find noodles. The driver, Tony, finds a gun on a seat and greedily threatens everyone to hand over all the food. They comply out of fear. As time moves quickly in this tunnel, they soon become very hungry and start feeling weak. After a while, Sarah, unable to bear the hunger, approaches Tony. She offers her body in exchange for a packet of noodles, and Tony immediately agrees. While they are occupied, Wang sneaks into the bus and grabs a packet of noodles. Tony catches him and starts attacking him. Just as Tony is about to kill Wang, someone attacks Tony from behind and kills him, so everyone gathers around, shocked by the recent events. Wang, extremely hungry, searches under the bus for more food and discovers a manhole. Together, they push the bus aside to reveal the manhole, and everyone climbs down into it. They arrive in another strange room filled with disturbing pictures and signs of human torture. The TV shows the woman from earlier now drowning in the cave. Ignoring the TV, they look for a way out and find the same calendar. Removing it reveals another secret door. They pass through the door and reach the third tunnel, which is wetter and deeper than the previous ones. The bus is there again, this time surrounded by rats and snakes. Desperate with hunger, Wang eats some raw noodles, which only makes him hungrier. Jealous of Zhang, he demands her biscuits. When she refuses to give him the whole packet, he pulls out the gun and steals everyone's food. His hunger still isn't satisfied. Wang theorizes that each time one of them dies, a secret way out is revealed, like when they found the hidden wall after Li's death and the manhole after Tony's death. He threatens to kill one of the survivors to find the next exit. Zhang tries to calm him down, but he insists and demands that Zhang shoot him in the shoulder. Wang then drags Park and Fang into the room and starts beating them. When Park tries to protect his brother, Wang shoots and kills her. Fang watches helplessly as his sister dies. Despite everything, Wang's hunger drives him to attempt to strangle Sarah. Before he can succeed, someone attacks Wang from behind, killing him. After 2 people die, a secret passage is discovered that leads to the 4th tunnel, a psychedelic tunnel. Chen and Sarah enter the tunnel and start searching around the bus. Sarah begins to have visions and sees dead people. Terrified, she leaves the area and sees dead bodies lying around. She spots a mirror, and as soon as she looks into it, someone comes from behind and kills her. The Jane returns to Chen. She gave birth to a baby. The remaining 3 people continue, but along the way they discover that the little baby is dead. Chen urges them to move forward, but then she takes out a knife and kills him. Later, he finds a room where he was kept for an experiment. Next, we see a military meeting where the whole story is revealed. An army general explains that at the start of the movie, James the serial killer actually targeted was Chen's wife. After that, James hides Chen's wife, and while police chase, he got into accident and now is in a coma. The officers cannot find any information about Chen's wife. Officer Chen, who is also a well-known psychotherapist, decided to locate his wife's with the help of his brain research company by connecting his subconsciousness to James. The bus ride and tunnel world shown at the beginning were just parts of James's imagination, and all the characters in his mind were his split personalities. James's mother was a local drama actress who had a close relationship with the driver of her drama company. His father was a small businessman who used to abuse the family under the influence of alcohol. One day, in a fit of anger due to the abuse, James's mother killed his father. Chen's initial plan was to enter James's mind and bring his consciousness out of the tunnel so that James could wake up from the coma and reveal the location of his wife. However, Chen was surprised to find many trapped personalities in James's imagination. His first mission then became to find the real criminal personality within James. At first, Chen suspected Li, but Li's social, caring, and rational behavior showed he was one of the good personalities in James's mind. So Chen decided to help Li escape. He believed that if he could bring out the good side of James's personality, a changed James would emerge. Chen secretly placed a map in the bus to help them navigate out of the tunnel. Unfortunately, someone killed Li before he could complete his plan. The second personality, Tony, was a reflection of James's violent nature, which mirrored his mom's lover, the driver. However, this personality was not the true criminal. Wang and Sarah were exact projections of his parents. There was also a pregnant woman in James's mind, representing his ideal mother who refused to believe her child was dead and thought he was still alive. James's dark personality eventually overpowered her, leading to Chen's death. The teenagers in James's mind represented his childhood personalities. They were smart and affectionate, but always lived in fear. Fang, one of the personalities, excelled in math and space physics, as hinted by the clues in his imaginary room. Despite all his efforts, Chen could not identify the criminal personality. He believed this dark side was still hidden, so he was trying to find where the murderer had imprisoned his wife from Wang. because he had some knowledge about the incident. Chen discovered that James's wife was likely imprisoned in a riverside cave near the tunnel. He noticed that the water level increased every time he enters a new room, indicating there is limited time before she would drown. This explains why Chen appeared calm despite being trapped, and why he was staring at people in a strange way. Because he was looking for criminal personality. James only made the cheating wife a victim, and Chen's wife also cheated on him. James' presence there at start of movie was not a coincidence. James feels relieved by catching, torturing, and keeping the fingers as souvenirs. James imagines the tunnel only because he was a tunnel engineer by profession, and his accident was also in the tunnel. All the personalities that he could never get or become are trapped in the form of an endless tunnel in his mind. According to me, time runs so fast in the tunnel because that tunnel shows his whole life journey. So if you pay attention, every room represents some of James's memories. Like in the first room, the calendar and the clippings of the newspaper of the killer. In the second, memories of James's childhood. And in the third, the news of his parents' suicide. James is a psycho killer. He likes to see his prey suffering. If you look at those tunnels, the first tunnel shows him catching his prey. The second tunnel, which was wet, shows his prey drowning in the water. And the third tunnel, where the dolls are cut, shows the part where he cuts his prey's fingers and keeps them as a souvenir. The empty glass case found in the second tunnel was actually prepared by James for Chen's wife. And looking at those total boxes, we can guess that James has made 6 people his prey till now. Now the biggest question is that how did the way to the tunnel open when someone died? Well, according to my logic, James's criminal evil personality hated his other personalities for some reason or the other. That's why those 6 tunnels were the grave of his 6 personalities. But Chen has less time, so he immediately enters James' consciousness. But this time, the doctor warns him to return as soon as possible. Otherwise, James could control his consciousness. And something like this happens because when he wakes up in imagination, James comes to his senses and starts to tease Chen, but it turns out to be a bad dream only. In his imagination moving forward, finally, he faces the personality of weak James, which reveals that in childhood, he loved to play with his doll, but his dad used to beat him a lot. There was only one doll which comforted him, but his dad broke it one day, and when he was going to meet his mom with doll, his mom killed his dad. That's why he got angry with his mom, and actually his mom didn't commit suicide, but James killed his mom in anger and cut her hand and kept it with him as a souvenir. That's why he likes to keep his prey's hand. But when Chen moves forward, he finds out about the real reason behind James's criminal personality. In his mind, personality of Park was the illusion of his beloved doll, who actually fueled his hatred towards unfaithful married women. Park also accused James' father of being a traitor because he couldn't satisfy his mom. This led to his mother having an affair with a driver. When Fang was about to move the story forward, Evil Park intentionally stops Chen from saving him. Chen tries to convince Fang's personality that Park is merely an illusion, and that Fang doesn't truly want to harm anyone. Fang is persuaded, but when he has to reveal his wife's hideout location, hidden in a cube, Park intervenes. As Chen tries to pull him back, Fang experiences significant pain. Despite this, Fang agrees to share the location, but Park pulls him away, revealing another climax. In this climax, we see how his father tortured him, broke his beloved doll, and how he felt upon seeing his mother with the driver. His mother killed his father by putting knife on James' hand, leading James to kill his mother in a fit of rage. This event sparked his deep-seated hatred towards unfaithful, cheating married women. After extracting Fang's good personality from James' consciousness, Chen realizes that he is losing control over James's consciousness because he saw his wife cheating in front of him. The final climax of the movie is revealed. The one who had been taking everyone's life from the dark side of imagination was none other than Chen's own dark side, which she had suppressed for a long time and had now broken free. Evil Chen's goal was to trap the real Chen in his own consciousness, allowing Evil Chen to escape and into real Chen's body take his wife's life with his own hand. When Chen realizes all of this, he has a flashback and discovers the real reason for his wife's infidelity. Chen had been so engrossed in his brain research that he neglected his family, driving his wife to seek comfort elsewhere, which led to her unintentional betrayal. Before Chen's wife sinks into despair, she leaves a message of apology for him on camera, expressing her wish to return to the time when they first met. Chen feels responsible for his wife's current state and regrets his actions. Realizing that Evil Chen is far more powerful than he anticipated, and that his wife's life could be in danger if Evil Chen is released, Chen decides to shoot himself, thereby destroying his evil side as well. As a result, James regains consciousness in Fang's personality and immediately informs the officers about Chen's wife's location. The officers manage to save her just in time, but she remains unaware that her life was saved by her husband, who is now dead. The movie shows Chen's body. The actual Chen, now trapped in his own imagination, once again embarks on the same bus journey, and the movie ends there. That's all for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and share your feedback and comments. I'll see you next time with another interesting explanation. Until then, thank you friends. Thank you for watching.